Hey there, welcome to Abundant Source Raw, and in this video I wanted to share a little technique you can use to kind of recenter yourself and get back to your authenticity, and it has to do with your judgments and your thoughts of others and other things and events and your reactions to these things, and just being able to catch yourself and notice anytime you have a reaction to something, because anytime you react or judge someone or something, that is you becoming disconnected from your authenticity and disconnected from the source of all things. If you were truly in your authentic state, there would be no room for judgment and no room for reaction. Everything would be perfect as it is, and these things would just seem meaningless to you. And so, I mean, all that's happening when you judge somebody or react to something is protection for the ego. The ego has to have something to attach itself to, and it has to have something, that it can just kind of identify with. And reactions and judgments are one of its tools to keep itself identified with something. When you judge somebody, you're basically saying that they are lower than you typically in some way, and so that is a boost for the ego. And when you react to something, same thing. I mean, there's not really anything to react to. It's just a way for the ego to stay alive. And so what I want you to kind of focus on is anytime you judge something, just kind of catch it. When you're in conversation with somebody, and even if you just think it, because I still judge, but typically never out loud anymore. Even if that person's not in the room, I hear so many people talking about other people, and I am typically always silent when I'm in a group of people or I'm having a conversation with somebody. I typically don't talk unless I'm being asked to, or somebody asks me a question. I typically just listen, because I don't really see talking as being the greatest way that I can help them. I just want to be present for them and have as much presence and light shining forth as possible. And when I'm in that state of presence, I really have no opinion. I don't really have anything to share worth sharing, because all that's worth sharing is just being present for somebody and showing them, being in the moment and showing them what a clean body can be like and what a clean spirit can be like. And so I found that that's the best way to get people to realize that there is this sort of flaw in their authenticity, is just by doing nothing and letting them realize, don't really give them any confirmation about what they're talking about or anything like that. Typically people will realize how silly it is when they're going on and talking so long, and you're just kind of sitting there not really giving a reaction, how kind of silly their words are becoming when they're talking about something or someone that maybe they didn't care for, or something that just doesn't really have anything to do with anything. I hear people talking like this all the time. Everybody does it, and I'm sure I still do it every once in a while. But the difference is I will catch myself and think, why did I just spend that time talking about useless stuff? And really, when you judge another person, you aren't defining them, you're defining yourself, you're defining your own mind and your own perception of them, and your judgment has nothing to do with them, it has everything to do with you. And so I never want you to focus on anybody else's reactions, anybody else's judgments, anybody else's anything. Only focus on your own. It's the only way you'll reach a level of understanding and realize your perfection and your authenticity, and have that understanding of yourself, so that way you can understand others. Dan Millman wrote, before you can help others, you must understand others. And before you can understand others, you must understand yourself. Only then can you apply the right leverage at the right time to have the most impact. Something like that. And so I thought that was really profound. It's all about knowing the self. You can't know anybody else unless you know yourself. If you're truly in your state of authenticity, then you're connected with everyone and everything, and you see the beauty in everything. Everything is just light and perfection, and judgment has no place. And don't worry about what other people think of you. What other people think of you is none of your business. That's their deal. You know, that's their own thing. It has nothing to do with you. So don't react to it, because then you're just getting caught up in it. Then you're just basically giving your power away to them. You're spending your time thinking about what they did and what they said, and it's taking away from your own happiness and from your own space of being and authenticity. But if you can just kind of let people do what they do and say what they say and be okay and just be serenely in yourself, then first of all, you'll notice that people don't really care about talking about you anymore because they get no reaction. It's all this like game for the ego to boost itself, and if they get no reaction from you or anything like that, then the ego can't really use you as something to you know, to become bigger, I guess, for itself, to kind of inflate itself. So just don't react. You will be super happy and super connected if you just don't react, don't do anything, and just let people do what they want to do. And in that, when people are around you and when people are you know, conversing with you, it will automatically heighten their awareness, to be in the presence of somebody who has this level of awareness already, and who can kind of just, you know, you don't really show people their flaws, but they can see their flaws in you. When they look at you, you never want to tell people, you know, you have this flaw or anything like that. That will never help them, and that will just give them more, something more to judge and something more to react to, and it will never increase their awareness. But if you just show them awareness, and if you just be yourself, be authentic in the moment, then when people are judging others and talking to you about what's going on in their day, and they can feel that awareness, they kind of just realize that what they're talking about just has nothing to do with anything, and that and it will make them want to be more like you, more authentic and present. And so I found that that's the best way. And so to get there, I think it's very important for you to catch your own judgments, and to get back to that level of understanding. You've got to understand yourself, and the way you do that is by, anytime you judge something or react to something, just notice it and go, why did I wonder why I just judged that or reacted to that in that way. And that will help you to not judge and react so much in the future. The more you do this, the more it just becomes easier to be present and not judge anything. When you can notice how much you judge, and you can notice in others how much they judge, and you don't want to get caught up in that. You just want to be authentic. If you want to change the world, you know, don't call people out on it. Don't show people the world's flaws. Just show people what the world could be, and show people presence. And that's what's going to change everything. You don't need to enforce anything. You don't need to do anything. You just need to be yourself and be authentic, and the world will see it, and it will heighten the world's senses and awareness automatically. And so that's what I think everybody should always be working on. You know, you can have your side projects and what you want to do in this life with this body and this human experience, but always be increasing your awareness and working on these sort of illusionary flaws. You know, these flaws don't really exist. You are always authentic, but you kind of got this big pile of junk and things surrounding your authenticity that you need to let go of. It's all about losing everything. People think you need to gain and accumulate, and you know, gain more power and knowledge and wealth, and character and whatever else and love, but it's all about losing it all, getting rid of everything, unknowing what you've known. You know, most people spend their whole life knowing or gathering information, but the people who are going to change the world are the ones who spend their whole life dropping that information. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Just catching your reactions and your judgments and being more aware of this, so that way you can get back to your center, thus helping everybody else get back to their center, and so we can all be authentic and happy and peaceful and connected. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Really helps me out and helps more people to find this message. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you in the next video.